All right, hey VC, I'm Jamie. Welcome back, and we're back with some, well, fairly recent pickups. These I haven't had a chance to present. Now, obviously, I haven't been record shopping in the past several weeks with pretty much everything shut down. So I thought I'd show these on this video, and thank you to my recent subscribers for my YouTube channel. Hope you enjoy the videos and hope you enjoy the channel. Okay, we got some 10-inch albums to show, which I don't have too many 10-inch records in my collection, but we now have John Coltrane and the Roulette sides. And this came out for, I believe, for Record Store Day a few years back, roughly 2016. And yeah, not too much material on this one, but oh my goodness, sounds so great. And a fantastic band that features McCoy Tyner, who passed away just recently. Yeah, so nice 10-inch. Again, not a lot of music, but boy, it just sounds beautiful and plays great. And on the classic roulette label there. And yeah, 10-inch. Okay, so there's John Coltrane, and the other 10-inch record I picked up was Jethro Tull Moths. Now, these are songs and sessions taken roughly from Heavy Horses. This was a Record Store Day released back in 2018, and the original price was $24.99, but I paid just $10 for this, so I thought, not a bad deal at all. But this 10-inch, they filled up nicely, 6 tracks in all, you can see there. And sounds great, and on the Chrysalis label, not special with the, but on the classic Chrysalis label. Jethro Tull and Moths for a Record Store Day release. Okay, some recent 12-inch pickups. We've got the Byrds and Farther Along. Now, usually if I see the Byrds albums, and if they're at least reasonably priced, I will definitely pick them up. This is their 11th album, I believe. They came out in 1971. This was their last album until their reunion in 1973 for that album that was simply called The Byrds. This one still has quite a country influence, but sounds great. Roger McGuinn, pretty much the lone original member. And this album is certainly quite a bit frayed at the top, but other than that, it's okay. And on this Columbia label. Okay, the Byrds and Farther Along. As I say, if I see the Byrds albums, usually I pick them up. Okay, picked up David Bowie and Pinups. Love this album, an album entirely of cover songs. Love his version of See Emily Play. Love his version of Anyway, Anyhow, Anywhere. Just this album rocks from start to finish. Really great. I just forgot how much I really do enjoy this album. Sometimes cover albums aren't all that enjoyable, but boy, this one still is. And this does have the sleeve. There's a nice piece of tape on the sleeve, but other than that, and then on the RCA label. Okay, David Bowie and Pinups. Was really happy to pick this one up. 5-man electrical band, great Canadian band. You know them probably for the hit Signs. This band was originally known as the Staccatos, and then decided to change their name to the 5-man electrical band. So this is their first full-length album as 5-man electrical band, so much so that the first song is called 5-man electrical band. This one is really a nice album. It's nice, it's got great harmonies, kind of almost a psych pop kind of thing going on. This came out in late 1969, and again, Canadian band despite the American flag. That's in the background there. But they had a number of hits. Signs was their big one, their big international one, but they also had hits like Absolutely Right, Hello Melinda Goodbye, and also featured on this is the song Half Past Midnight. That song was originally a Staccatos release prior to this album, but then when they released this album, they included the song, but under the moniker 5-man electrical band. So yeah, and on the classic Capitol rainbow label, and I'm not sure in terms of the sleeve, this obviously is not an original sleeve, but Mr. Sound. I'm not sure where Mr. Sound was. I don't know if anybody in the VC remembers Mr. Sound. April Wine. Whole World's Going Crazy. Forgot what a great album this was. Nice hard rockin' album. Fairly early in the April Wine career. It's a little messy up top, but it's got the nice raised picture there. Like a Lover, Like a Song was a hit, and the full-length version on here is terrific. The Whole World's Going Crazy was also a hit, but yeah, Wings of Love. Another great track, and this has the insert with the lyrics that talks about the April Wine collection, and then the cardboard inner sleeve as well. And on the Aquarius label, but this was one of the few where they included the top hat from the character on the cover on the Aquarius label. April Wine. Can't go wrong with Muddy Waters. This is a reissue of the album Sail On. I think this album came out in 1969. Can't go wrong with a track listing like that, and I do think they included some extra tracks on this particular. This is a 180 gram limited edition classic LP. Plays great. Super enjoyable. And yeah, 180 gram. And there you have it. Okay, Linda Ronstadt and Silk Purse. Interesting cover and great album. This is a reissue and really country in flavor overall. But boy, the track, long time. So beautiful, and I love the version on this of Will You Love Me Tomorrow. But this really has quite a country, traditional country sound. Fairly early in Linda Ronstadt's career. Of course, she would have so many great albums, so many great songs. But yeah, very country on this one. And they reissued this with the classic Capitol label. Linda Ronstadt. Silk Purse. Okay. Another Canadian artist. This is Doucet, and this is Coming Up Roses. Although they called this, the album prior to this was called The Deuce Is Loose, but they called this Doucet, The Deuce Is Loose again, Coming Up Roses. Canadian artist who has kind of crisscrossed across the country. I believe originally from Quebec, Montreal, but then spent some time in Ontario, and then spent a lot of time out west in BC. Had the hit Mama Let 'Em Play, which is a great kind of rock and roll radio hit. I think Doucet is really underrated. All of his albums, I think roughly 3 or 4 albums, are all really terrific. Really rocking at times. And this is on the Rio Records label. But an artist worth checking out, a Canadian artist, Doucet, or Jerry Doucet is his full name. Jerry Doucet. Yeah. Okay, a Ry Cooder album, jazz. Mazzy's recently got a Ry Cooder soundtrack album. Now, this looks like a soundtrack, but it is not. This is a Ry Cooder album called Jazz, with arrangements and conducted by Joseph Byrd. This is pretty traditional jazz. This is really nice morning music. I'm trying to get into Ry Cooder a little bit more. Certainly he is an absolutely terrific guitarist. But yeah, it kind of looks like it's a soundtrack album, but it's actually not. And this is on Warner Brothers. Oh, okay. Picked up another Stan Rogers album. This is Stan Rogers for the Family. This is very traditional folk on this one. I mean, certainly Stan Rogers is pretty folk-oriented for most of his catalog, but this one he gets pretty deep into the folk tradition, a lot of traditional songs. I think my favorite on this is the song Scarborough Settler's Lament. It's just an absolutely beautiful song about like a Scottish person emigrating to Canada, but then still missing the homeland, the home country. Just a beautiful song. And Three Fishers is a beautiful song. Stan Rogers for the Family. And I think we got time for 1 or 2 more. Bruce Coburn, Humans, was never a big fan of this particular cover. Of all the things he could have done, I mean, the back cover looks a lot better than the front cover. But a great album. This features the hit Rumors of Glory, which is that nice reggae-tinged sound. And also the song Tokyo is on here, which was a big hit. Certainly a big enough hit in Canada. But yeah, it was one of those Bruce Coburn albums I just thought, that's the cover I was just not a fan of. But this features the inner sleeve with the English lyrics. Even though he mainly sang in English, he always, I think for almost every record, always had the lyrics translated. So here they're translated in French for the insert. Okay, and we've got time for one more. Let's see if we can get in maybe a little Crazy Horse. This is the album Loose. I don't have very much, this is the only Crazy Horse album I have. Of course, Neil Young's band. This is great rockin' stuff. I know Crazy Horse have some real classic albums that it's a band that I definitely have to get into more. I just like their just straight ahead rockin' sound. But certainly have enjoyed this album. And this comes with what I would believe is the original Warner sleeve that shows you extra compilations, some of these amazing compilations that were mail order only that you could pick up. And this, of course, on the Classic Reprise label. Okay, that's going to do it for this one. We'll chat again. Take care. Bye-bye.